So yeah, NieR Replicant and NieR Gestalt. Released by Square Enix in 2010 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, NieR Replicant and Gestalt would mark the beginning of the beloved and critically acclaimed NieR series. Originally spinning off of a joke ending of Drakengard, NieR offered a blend of action RPG and bullet hell mechanics, delivering a unique experience that quickly garnered a cult following, which was also thanks to Yoko Taro's unconventional and often bizarre style of storytelling. And it later paved the way for the critically acclaimed NieR Automata, a mobile game that lasted for all of 5 minutes before getting the boot in the remastered version of NieR, which gave us an updated combat system, more story content, and of course, more pain. Brought to you by the funny man in the mask who's been pissing gamers off since 2003. But yeah, the main change of this remaster was that they swapped out the main protagonist with a newer and younger model, allowing the West to finally witness a story from the perspective of Brother NieR. And honestly, thank God. Listen, we love Papa NieR here, but some of those line deliveries were so awkward.
Yes. You and I are friends now.
Blink twice if you need help, Kaine. But yeah, NieR Replicant tells the story of NieR, a young boy who's on a journey to cure his sister from the deadly black scrawl disease while uncovering the truth behind his dying world. And during your adventure, you'll encounter marital problems, urban planning being someone's passion, Yoko Taro's punching bag, Drakengard trauma, existential dread, a walking TOS violation. Audible with a grudge, glow-ups, glow-downs, animal cruelty, a great soundtrack. Yeah, I don't have a joke here, this music is just really good. Fishing, punching, slapping, balls, the good guys doing nothing bad, lots and lots of crying, cannibal children, rated M for murdering books, and so much more. So grab your popcorn and get comfy because this is a story of NieR Replicant. So NieR Replicant opens up in the near future inside a desolate city where it's pouring down some clear, white, and tasty snow. Wait, why does it taste like meat? There we are introduced to a young boy named NieR who hears a voice from a book urging him to take his power, to which he refuses and kicks it away. After fighting against strange beasts known as shades, he returns to his sister Yona, who is not doing so hot as she is suffering from a disease called the black scrawl. NieR tells her he's going to search for food and warns her not to touch a book next to her. And can you take a wild guess on what she does next? No, Yona, put it down! NieR heads outside but is quickly overcome by an incoming horde of shades. With no other choice, he eventually accepts the book's power, and with its help, they defeat the shades. NieR returns back to Yona to find that her condition is getting worse. She eventually collapses in his arms, and this concludes our heartwarming Yoko Taro video game opening. Flash forwarding a whopping 1412 years later, NieR is getting ready when— zombie! So yeah, Yona is still alive somehow, don't question it, I promise it'll make sense later. So anyway, NieR heads for the town's library where he meets up with a villager named Popola. NieR confides in her, saying that Yona's condition has been getting worse. She then requests that he gather mutton, and when he heads out, he runs into Yona. Yona? For the love of God, stay away from the books! So after telling her to go home, he heads out to fulfill his required JRPG quest. And after returning home to Yona, he tells her about a legendary flower called the Lunar Tear that is said to grant the wish of anyone who could find one, and Yona wonders if it could cure her sickness. NieR then fights shades that were close to the village, and after returning to Popola, she recounts that Yona came to ask her about the outside world, to which Popola reminded her not to leave the village. Well, as we've established before, Yona is very good at listening to other people. NieR then returns to his house when— oh, god damn it, Yona! While searching around for Yona, Popola tells them that she asked her how to find a lunar tear, and she said that they used to grow in the nearby shrine. Popola, why would you tell her that? So NieR makes his way towards the shrine and eventually finds Yona behind a force field. He attacks the force field, which frees a book that begins to talk and unfortunately for us doesn't shut up for the rest of the game. I guess one might call him an audiobook.
Please clap.
Now with Grimoire Whatever's help—
I am Grimoire Vice Wielder.
Shut up, you annoying paperback. NieR manages to free Yona and escape the shrine. Taking her back home, they notice that the black scrawl is starting to take over Yona's arm. NieR brings Weiss to Popola, who seems to recognize him from a song called the Song of the Ancients. She recounts a tale of there being a black book called Grimoire Noir who plunged the world into chaos, but the white book Grimoire Weiss managed to defeat him by gathering the sealed verses. NieR believes that by gathering all of the sealed verses, he will be able to cure the black scroll and save Yona. Popola then informs NieR that shades are gathering in a place called the Eyrie, and they head out believing that a sealed verse awaits them there. So NieR and Weiss make their way towards the Eyrie. Ah, not again! They arrive at the Eyrie when the villagers yell at them to go away, saying that he's just like someone named Kaine. Making their way back to the village, they notice a shed with glowing flowers, and upon closer inspection, Weiss recognizes them as lunar tears. Oh, okay, then I guess we save Yona and the game's over now. Roll the credits!
Hands off the flowers.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. They are stopped by a girl who appears to be possessed by a shade. After fighting back against her, a giant shade appears and the three team up to push back, causing it to flee. The girl, whose name is Kaine, proclaims that the giant shade they fought is her prey and to stay away from it. Leaving Kaine, NieR realizes that he must get stronger given the last encounter, and he heads for a place called the Junk Heap in order to strengthen his weapons. Once there, we see that the Junk Heap is making great use of good old child labor as we meet two kids, Jacob and Gideon. They confide in NieR that their mother has gone missing, and after upgrading his weapon, NieR offers to search for her. Taking on the machines in the depths of the Junk Heap and receiving a sealed verse for doing so, they encounter a dead man and woman who appears to be their mom. It turns out that she abandoned her children to run off with her secret lover. And honestly, can't even blame her. I would do the same if I spawned this little demon. So yeah, they gently break the news to the kids, and afterwards they decide to check in on how things are going in the area. Oh, come on guys, it's been like 5 minutes! So now that the area is not doing so hot, NieR and Weiss must once again team up with Kaine in order to fight against the same shade from before. During the fight, it's revealed that Kaine is avenging her grandmother who was killed by the shade. As they finally kill the shade, Kaine has pushed herself to her limit and NieR rushes to save her. They beg her not to give up, and after waking up from the brink of death, she realizes that she can't just live for revenge and agrees to join their party. Once learning of Yona's sickness, Kaine says she knows a king with the same disease in the desert kingdom called Facade, and they could go to see if they found a cure. Arriving at Facade, Kaine recounts the time she saved the kid from a pack of wolves, and ever since then they welcomed her with open arms. While searching for the king, they encounter a girl named Fira, who's unable to speak due to a law in Facade. Using hand gestures, she explains that Facade has a lot of rules to follow, such as Rule 106, do not live on level ground, or Rule 115,017, you must view the town by ship before purchasing items, or Rule 2004, all dragon fruit must be smashed like a wait, what? No, leave me alone! Ah! Weiss criticizes the amount of rules that they have, and Fira says that rules don't exist to bind you, but rather exist so you may know your freedom. Well, I'm glad you found the bright side of living in a dictatorship, Fira. Eventually, they find out that the king has succumbed to his sickness, and when they head back to Kaine, she is surprised to see Fira as she is the girl that Kaine saved. A soldier then interrupts their reunion when he exclaims that the prince has gone missing in a nearby temple. However, they find that their rules prevent them from searching for him. Kaine leverages the favor that was owed to her to allow them to search a temple, and Fira offers to guide them. Alright Fira, let's make this quick. The prince is in trouble! God, I hate this game. After completing the puzzles of the temple and defeating a bunch of Amazon boxes, they manage to locate the prince. The prince picks up his newly found mask with the Legend of Zelda theme playing, along with the sound of a Nintendo lawyer loading their gun. Returning back, the prince says that he is now ready to lead his people into prosperity and promises to give NieR whatever they desire. NieR requests if they can make Rule 0, allowing them to change rules if someone doesn't like one, to which the prince agrees. Yes, as a citizen of this fine nation, I think we should get rid of the dragon fruit. Oh no. No, pull me down! No! They then ask if they were able to cure the black scroll, and after learning that they weren't, NieR understands that finding the sealed verses is the only way to save Yona. They head back to the village, and later that night, NieR dreams of a boy who speaks of a sealed verse inside the Forest of Myth. The next morning, he questions Popola about it, who shares that she received a strange letter from the mayor of the Forest of Myth. Heading there, they speak to the mayor when they get caught in a death dream, which causes those to fall asleep and live forever within a world of their dreams. And which also means that we now have a text adventure to sit through. So now it's time to sit back, relax, and just read more about the world of NieR. So yeah, after getting carpal tunnel, they manage to break free from the curse and receive a sealed verse. Alright, get me out of this hellscape. I'm starting to develop a fear of paragraphs. NieR returns to Yona when she confesses that she's been exchanging letters with a pen pal, but worries that they might be in trouble. Okay, that's nice that you're messaging random strangers. Nothing could go wrong with that. I swear, it's like this girl's trying to die. So NieR and the gang venture to a nearby manor, and they're ushered inside where they lose track of Kaine. While searching for her, they encounter a young blindfolded boy named Emil, who explains that he is cursed with the ability to turn anything he looks at to stone. Wow, that's really terrible. By the way, did you know I have a floating book that talks? You should take a look at it. Emil also can't recall any letters that were sent, and later we find out that his butler sent them, hopes of getting NieR to come to the manor, but Yona misunderstood the situation. They then ask NieR and Weiss if they could accompany them to the library, as they are close to fixing Emil's curse. Heading there, they are attacked by another book, and after taking it out, they find a cryptic page detailing a report on petrification, and the butler vows to decipher it at any cost. Outside, Kaine shows Emil her arm and tells him that his eyes are a vital part of him and never to be ashamed of them. Before leaving, NieR asks the butler to keep sending letters to Yona. Okay, well I guess we're just encouraging this now. And with that, they have now obtained all of the sealed verses. Returning back to the village, NieR begins running errands for Popola when they encounter Emil, who collapses. Rushing him to Popola, he warns them that a horde of shades is about to invade the village. Oh, thanks for the heads up, Emil. People could have really gotten hurt. My leg! NieR, along with Weiss and Kaine, they fight back against the invading shades and manage to trap one of their stronger ones in the library's basement. NieR then goes to help Kaine lock the door when... Oh, why can't things ever be easy? NieR is stabbed by a figure that looks similar to him called the Shadow Lord and his companion grimoire, Noir. Weiss and Noir talk when he reveals that everything NieR and the gang did was part of the Shadow Lord's plan. Noir explains that both he and Weiss were created to serve the Shadow Lord and they must fuse together in order to set free the shades of this world. NieR and the rest manage to break Weiss free of his hypnotic state, and Weiss commits to fight by their side. During the fight against Noir, the Shadow Lord launches a spike at Weiss, but NieR jumps to protect him. Now with NieR down, the Shadow Lord and Noir manage to escape the library with Yona. With a shade about to break free, Kaine asks Emil to petrify her in order to keep the door locked. Wait, no, Kaine, you can't! Put Weiss there instead! And with one look, Kaine is turned to stone as NieR vows to save her and Yona.
5 years later.
Skipping ahead 5 years, we see how the shades have gone stronger since that day, but so has NieR as we see him and Weiss take down a pack of armored shades. NieR reflects on the past 5 years of how their search for Yona has been unsuccessful, and with the shades getting more powerful, the human population is beginning to diminish. Reporting back to Popola, he comments on how she hasn't aged a day during these past 5 years. Popola dismisses his comment and gives NieR a letter from Emil, who recently discovered a record that could lead them to saving Kaine. Heading to the manor, Emil shows him an old document detailing a room under the manor containing ways to control all forms of magic. Making their way beneath the manor, they discover documents about Emil, who struggles to remember his past until they enter a room with a weird-looking robot that triggers his memories. He recounts that he and several children were brought to this place to create the perfect weapon, which he managed to achieve with number 6, Emil's sister Halua. However, she got out of control, so they created number 7, also known as Emil, to petrify her. Number 6 then awakens and chomps on Emil, and after defeating it, Emil is saved but begs them not to look at him. Why? What could be the— Oh dear God, what is that? As a result of getting rid of his curse and number 6's power flowing into him, Emil takes a form of a monster similar to her. NieR comforts him, and now that Emil is able to see, he comments on NieR's appearance.
Oh no, he's hot!
Now with Emil's curse finally eradicated, they return back to the library where he's able to unpetrify Kaine. Yay, we got Kaine back. Wait, what's that noise? Oh wait, I forgot about that! Ah! So yeah, after finally killing the beast, Kaine awakens and they catch her up on everything that has happened during the past few years, and she comments on how her friends have changed. Yeah, NieR really let himself go. Is that underwear on his face? However, their heartwarming reunion is ruined when Popola asks Kaine and Emil to keep their distance from the town to not frighten the people. Oh, but they're fine with the floating talking book, I guess. NieR is understandably upset by this, but Kaine and Emil agree to not cause trouble. The next day, NieR meets up with Popola, who says that she believes that the Shadow Lord's lair is connected to the Lost Shrine, so they go to investigate. Once there, they are attacked by a familiar foe who during the fight impales Kaine with a spear. Oh, hell no! I did not spend 5 years trying to revive you only for you to die like this. Wake up! So after defeating the foe and Kaine going berserk, "No, I'm sorry for hitting you," they find an unusual fragment which they question Popola about. She says that these fragments are the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle and they must find the other 4 to do so. Popola warns NieR about how dangerous this task will be, but he is determined to find Yona. So they make their way towards a junk heap where we get a flashback taking place a few years ago when Jacob was killed by a robot while exploring the factory. They meet up with Gideon and ask if he's seen any unusually big shades around. He responds by saying that he hasn't, and all he wants to do is find robots and rip them apart. Well, you have fun with that, buddy. NieR ends up agreeing to avenge Jacob and heads into the heap. They eventually find the robot along with a tiny shade, and after defeating both, they receive a fragment while Gideon takes his anger out in the dead machine. Alright, while Gideon acts like a psychopath, what's next on the agenda? Oh, for Christ! So yeah, heading back to the Forest of Hell, they investigate a strange presence by the tree when they are plunged into another death dream. And after once again engaging in every gamer's worst fear, reading, they break free from the death dream and receive another fragment. Back at the village, Popola hands him a letter from the Aerie saying that they decided to be more open to strangers and could help them locate the next fragment. Oh, that's really sweet of them. This definitely isn't a trap at all. Arriving in the Aerie, they confront the mayor who doesn't seem to know anything about a letter that was sent. NieR and the gang ask around the now lively village, but once when they learned their plan to kill Shades, some of the villagers showed their real forms as Shades. While fighting back and Kaine somehow dying for a 3rd time, Weiss comments on how all the villagers are acting like they're the villains. Wait, that can't be right. I mean, we can't be the villains, we're the main characters. Well anyway, Emil kills everyone in the village and we receive another fragment. Traveling back to the village, Popola is attempting to locate the final fragment and in the meantime asks them to track down the ferryman in Seafront as he's been slacking on the job. Once at Seafront, they question the townspeople who inform them that the ferryman disappeared a few days ago when the shipwreck appeared. Wait, what do you mean a shipwreck? Oh, so people have been going missing and nobody decided to question the haunted shipwreck that appeared out of nowhere? No wonder all of you are going extinct. Oh my god. So yeah, they have the brilliant idea to head inside the ship where they are followed by a mysterious girl. And while exploring, they come across a dead ferryman along with other townspeople and Weiss believes that the culprit awaits further within. Venturing deeper inside, they eventually find the mysterious girl along with the postman for some reason. Bro really thinks he's a part of the main cast or something. Kaine warns the postman to stay back before the girl reveals herself to be a shade. During the fight against her, the postman starts hitting her with a stick, begging her to stop, leaving an opening for NieR to deliver the final blow. A few days later, the postman apologizes for accidentally harboring a flesh-eating child. It's alright, it happens to the best of us. And we unfortunately do not receive a fragment, so this was all a big waste of time. Alright, moving on. Heading back to the village, NieR receives a letter from the King of Facade inviting them to his wedding. Oh, that's really nice of him. Hopefully this will be a relaxing vacation where nothing bad— oh, who am I kidding? Let's just get this over with. They meet up with the prince in Facade where it's revealed that Fiora is his bride-to-be. The next morning they hold the wedding ceremony but is soon interrupted by a pack of wolves who manage to turn Fiora into a chew toy. After Fiora dies in his arms, the enraged prince vows to slaughter every last wolf, and after numerous people tell him that's probably a bad idea, NieR offers to assist him. They track down the wolves to their den where they manage to avenge Fiora while also retrieving the final fragment. Saying his final goodbyes at Fiora's grave, the prince expresses his sorrow and promises to honor her memory. Now with all the fragments obtained, they make their way into the depths of the lost shrine. They then approach a room where birds begin asking them about the lore of the world. What? How am I supposed to know this? It's not like I make videos on the story of video game— oh wait, hold on a second. After answering a few questions, they proceed forward and find Popola and Devla blocking their path. Oh wait, is this a bad time to mention that Popola has a twin sister? I kind of forgot to mention that, my bad. They begin to duke it out, and during the battle, they reveal that the sealed verses actually originated from them. Before vanishing, they urge NieR to seek out the truth for himself. As they venture onward, NieR and the gang are attacked by a shade resembling a bull. Just when it seems that the poison will overwhelm them, the people of Assad arrive to hold off the shade, allowing NieR and the others to unwillingly escape. Moving forward, they eventually run into Devla and Popola again, who decide to drop even more lore on us. this. So yeah, get some more popcorn ready for this one. This is gonna be a doozy. Around 1300 years ago, humanity, facing extinction, took on a last-ditch effort called Project Gestalt. This project involved creating artificial bodies known as replicants designed to resist a deadly disease. The plan was to separate the souls from humans and eventually place them into these shells. However, the replicants unexpectedly gained sentience without their corresponding souls and now comprise the entire population of this world. The true humans, though no longer in their original forms, have not gone extinct as they continue to exist as shades. Devil and Popola then attempt to reclaim NieR's body for the Shadow Lord, but in their struggle, NieR manages to kill Devila. As NieR and the others attempt to escape, Popola, grieving her sister's death, latches onto them. With no other way out, Emil sacrifices himself in order to save his friends. Now with Emil and Popola dead, they head further in and find Yona, only to be immediately confronted by the Shadow Lord soon after. After a fierce battle, NieR prepares to strike the final blow, but Yona suddenly calls out for her brother. However, to NieR's surprise, she walks past him towards the Shadow Lord. It's then revealed that the Shadow Lord is the original NieR, and the soul of the original Yona was the one reaching out to him. Sensing the deep love the replicant Yona has for her brother, the original Yona chooses not to separate them and steps into the light, leaving the replicant's body. In the final battle, NieR strikes down the Shadow Lord, and Weiss, having lost all of his powers, disappears. With the Shadow Lord finally dead, NieR runs to Yona's side when he hears the voice of Weiss again. It turns out that Weiss had only lost his physical form, but is still very much alive. Yay! He tells NieR that in order to save Yona, he needs to call out to her, and after remembering everything Yona loved, including NieR himself, Yona eventually wakes up. Kaine then makes her exit. Despite NieR offering for her to stay with them, she declines. Later on, we see a young NieR and Yona playing in the field of flowers, while the vision shows us that the original Gestalts have been reunited. And that's the story of NieR Replicant. Ha! Tricked you! Yeah, you thought this was the end. Silly viewer, this is a Yoko Taro game. The pain doesn't stop at the credits. That's right, this was just ending A, and we still have a couple more endings to go through. So how about you grab some more popcorn and get comfy. Wait, no, don't turn off the video. No, sit back down! So ending B has us replay through the second half of the game, but now allows us to see the perspectives of the shades. It shows how much of a terrible person we are. Listen, those 5-year-olds attacked me first. They had it coming. But yeah, in the junk heap, we see that the robot was caring for a young shade who had lost his mom to the hands of the replicants. Over in the area, we see that the replicants and shades were attempting to live side by side with one another until NieR and the gang slaughtered them. In the kingdom of Facade, it's revealed that the wolves attacked the kingdom because they had destroyed their homes and killed their families. And at the haunted ship, it turns out that the young shade was eating the replicants in order to feel more human. Alright, this one's still really messed up, but you get the point. This ending also allows us to hear the voice of the shade who has possessed Kaine named Tyrion. Other than that, the story continues as normal until NieR strikes down the Shadow Lord. We then see the original NieR mourning over the fact that he failed his sister, but then the original Yona appears and thanks NieR for everything he's done. We also see that Emil's head somehow survives the blast and hops around in search of his friends. Now in ending C, we must once again play through the second half of the game. Alright, this is starting to get really tiring. The story proceeds as normal until NieR strikes down the Shadow Lord. As Kaine walks away, the black scrawl begins to fully consume her body while Tyrion regrets turning her into a killing machine. Before she goes berserk, she turns to NieR and asks him to kill her as her final request. Tyrion then tells NieR that there is a way to save Kaine, however it will require a difficult decision to be made. With NieR prepared to do anything to save Kaine's life, Tyrion then presents him with two options. The first choice leads into ending C, which has NieR mercy kill Kaine just like she requested. After doing this, Tyrion remarks on how Kaine is now truly free as he picks up her lunar tear, proclaiming that they will always be together. What's the other option, you may ask? Well, after playing the second half once again, I hate this game! The other option leads into ending D, allowing NieR to trade his own existence for hers, making Kaine a normal human. However, by doing so, everyone will lose their memories of NieR, and the very same save data of your game will be erased. You know what? Just take it. I can't do another ending of this game. As Kaine wakes up, Yona approaches to thank her for saving her, while Kaine has glimpses of her time with NieR. Yona then hands her a lunar tear when Kaine begins to cry, as she feels like she just found something very special. And that concludes Ending D. Well, at least with my save file gone, there can't possibly be any more endings. Right? 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 Wrong! Because now with the addition of version 1 point whatever, we have one more ending. Ending E. Yay! Ah! So after NieR and Kaine defeat the Shade in the area again, we see Kaine floating on the brink of death. She reaches out for NieR's hand, but it vanishes, causing her to sink further down. Kaine then awakens 3 years after their battle with the Shadow Lord, having dreams of NieR but can't seem to remember who he is. She sets off to hunt Shades, who are getting increasingly stronger, but during her hunt she hears that the villagers have lost contact with the Forest of Myth and decides to investigate. I swear to God, if this mayor shoves another novel down my throat. Oh hey look, they're all dead. So yeah, the tree now has an opening where machines have been pouring out of, killing all the villagers. Kaine heads inside and encounters 2 androids who claim to be the administrators of the forest, which has been recording all the information about the world. They then use samples of Kaine's strength to create powerful replicas. Overwhelmed by their strength, Emil shows up at the last second to save Kaine. Oh god, they made him even creepier. Together they push back against the replicas, eventually carving out a path forward. As they move forward, Kaine expresses how worried she was about Emil, and they both mention remembering someone who used to fight alongside them. They make their way inside a replica of the Shadow Lord's castle where a magical cube lies ahead. The androids reveal that the cube holds the memories Kaine lost, and as she attacks it, she hears NieR's voice once again. After destroying the cube, Kaine is transported to a realm where all of her memories are stored. There she confronts the enemies she has slain in the past, including the one that killed her grandmother. She begins hearing the voices of her bullies from the area before being knocked unconscious. Kaine then experiences a false dream of her life back in the area, and even after acknowledging that it's an illusion, she chooses to accept it anyway. Suddenly, a familiar voice then enters her world.
I say, can you hear me?
Oh no. Hey, budget 9S and 2B, can I have this memory locked, please? With the help of Weiss, she fights back against the Shades while the androids are shocked to see Kaine's true potential. Kaine hears NieR's voice telling her not to go back, but she refuses. Kaine says that she swore to be a sword, so no matter what, she's going to get him back. And with finally remembering his name, she manages to bring him back to existence along with the player's save file. Oh great, I was really hoping to play the second half of the game for a 5th time! The story ends with a giant lunar tear appearing where Emil finds Kaine holding NieR. Just gonna put this here for a second. They proclaim that although their journey was meaningless and their past was a mistake, they refuse to go back because this world holds the people that they cherish. And that's the story of NieR Replicant. So while the gameplay of NieR Replicant wasn't anything spectacular to say the least, there's no denying that Yoko Taro managed to create a gut-wrenching, trope-defying narrative that managed to yank at the heartstrings of all who played it. There's something really special about the world Taro managed to craft, from its colorful cast of characters to its deeply emotional storylines. And I'm glad there's so many newcomers that can experience this game now that it actually plays like a video game and not a torture simulator. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and if you have any more questions about the story of NieR Replicant, or just life in general, please leave in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a beautiful day.